Okay, so hello and welcome everyone. We are about to get into the messages. Yes, dear, we had to clean house. Trying to taint the vessel, dear. Absolutely not. What are the messages? So, what are the messages for whomever it may concern? What are the messages? What are the messages for whomever it may concern? Uh-oh. Okay, so we have the Five of Swords that fell out. That is going to be on the outside of you. So somebody is trying to gaslight you. You rejected this person. This person may have rejected you. But there's some type of mind games that's going on that is being played with this person. Okay, it just gives like gaslighting. Okay, so in the position of your crown, you have the Nine of Cups, but I really feel like it's some type of rejection. Okay, it feels like you've kicked somebody out of your energy. Okay, rather you're aware of this or rather you're not, whoever you are very honest with about a situation, that's what this is. So, you know, this person plays mind games, they play head games, and I have a feeling you are aware of that. Okay, and I mean, you're not feeling it. You have the Five of Pentacles. You know that this person is underdeveloped, which means that the source of their mind games comes from trying to compete with you, okay, on a psychological level. Okay, so it's kind of like they be putting on a performance. I do pick up that you are a man and that is a woman. Okay, so she's trying to perform. You do have opposition. I think that you rejected her in some kind of way, you know. So when it comes to your opposition is very discontent. This is a family situation. So, you know, it could be your family or it could be somebody else's family. I have a feeling it's this woman's family. She's trying to gaslight her family and you. So she's trying to play all of these head games, but she keeps falling into the trap of her head games because she doesn't have enough mental capacity. You know, there's not like a lot of beauty in her brain. Her thoughts, her ideas, it's all about control. She always has to be right. She has to be Mrs. Know-It-All. So she has a very big ego. Okay, so she's playing these head games. She thinks that she's being cute about it, but she looks dumb in the end and she's been rejected. Okay, so she's festering within her rejection. So if you rejected her, it's like she wants to get back at you in some kind of way. She's trying to make it seem like she's not upset that you rejected her, but she absolutely is. And she's like being psychologically, she's just playing games about the situation. It's giving me like very petty. Okay, so but I mean, she already, it's kind of like, you know, it's a war. You know, she wins the battle, but she does not win the war, which means that you do not have a fragile ego. So when it comes to her in these little mind games, you don't even pay it no mind. That's why you rejected her. Okay, so she may be trying to lie, trying to make it seem like, you know, you're something that you're not because she can't get under your skin or bother you in some kind of way. She doesn't want you to know that she's upset that you rejected her. But I have a feeling it's kind of like she's trying to weigh out things between your opposition and you. Okay, so like I said, it could be a family situation. It's a family situation. It could be you, your family, or it's her family. You know, you may have rejected her and she went to her family lying about a whole bunch of shit. Okay, and she's putting on a performance and she's putting on a show in front of her peoples, but it's backfiring with the Six of Cups here. Okay, so she's trying to be head, but everybody else is heart. Okay, so I mean, I have a feeling if this is her family, she's used to playing these types of games with her family. Okay, and when it comes to you, she knows she can't play these games. So she's not going to make it seem like she's upset, but she's upset. She's the type of person to where she don't like hearing no. So, you know, she's trying to be devious and manipulating and play all these head games with people. When it comes to you, You are unconditional, benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, you are emotionally intelligent. So even though you are open and you may kind of like wear your heart on your sleeve, and when you deal with her, it's like you're very nonchalant. Emotionally, you're nonchalant. You see, she plays games to stir people up emotionally because she has this guilty conscience of what she's doing. And it's kind of like she thinks that people can see. So she's trying to set herself up. So if people react emotionally to her, it's kind of like she can put the blame on them. She is an emotional avoidant, and it shows within her family. And I'm going to tell you, when it comes to you, something about you breaks the mold in this situation, because what she may have went through with her family for years, okay, dealing with her children, maybe even her own siblings, it's kind of like all of that is starting to come out. The result of her is starting to come out. She is an emotional avoidant. So, but she has feelings, but she try to act like she don't. You know what I'm saying? You feel how you feel. Most people don't like when you tell them no. So it's okay if somebody tells you no and you're upset about it. The only thing is not to retaliate off of that, because you must respect people's boundaries. When somebody says no, no means no. She knows that. You know, she's just so used to playing them games. When it comes to you, you're in a lane of your own. You already know that you have underdeveloped people around you. At the same time, it's kind of like, so with the Five of Pentacles here and her having the Five of Swords, you rejected her, but the way you rejected her, it wasn't like, it was like a finesse. You know, you were very practical. You were very balanced. You know, you had reason as to why you rejected her for whatever, even if you know that she be playing head games and you just don't want to be around her. You're not going to say, oh, you know, I know you're playing games with me and I don't fuck with you and I don't want to be around you. You know, it's kind of like you see stuff and you just deal with it accordingly. Okay, that is emotional intelligence. Okay, she tries to pretend like she has that, but it shows through her family. They are the product of her abuse. Okay, so I see the Hermit here. The Hermit is lined up with this King of Cups. So I pick up that you are an older man, very wise. You have a very ancient soul. You know, this comes easy. Emotional intelligence comes easy to you. You know what I'm saying? You're just very mature. Emotionally, you're just very mature. So it's kind of like, honestly, she didn't get the chance. I feel like she's secretly competitive. She didn't get the chance to reject you. You know what I mean? That is what she's really upset about, you know, and she's trying to play games with you so she can get a reaction out of you, so she can say, oh, you know, look at him and blah, 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 blah. She wants to be able to convince her family of something. Okay, I do pick up friends here. It could be a family and it could be a friend group. If it's a friend group, she grew up with these people. If it's family, it's just family. And yeah, she grew up with these family members. Okay, so in a position of your crown, you know, you're okay with waiting for what you want. You're okay with being single. Okay, you know that she ain't it. Okay, you know she ain't it. I feel like you have somebody else on your mind, but this person is not showing up in the reading. Because you want that emotion. You don't want that head shit. You know, you don't want somebody that's going to play head games with you. You want somebody who's going to be emotionally open. You see, you're tapped in because you can pick up on this woman. You know, she tries to make it seem like she's not playing games, but she's absolutely playing fucking games. And it's just like, you know, I don't want that. I want somebody who is emotionally independent. She's not emotionally independent. You know it. No matter how many times, you know, no matter how many games she tries to play with you. And I think that you can see it through her family, because her family is opposing energy towards you. She may want you, I don't know, if y'all have been together, if y'all are together or something like that, there's something here going on to where, because she's at a distance, you know, but you were close to her family. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if she moved away from home. Okay, she moved away from home, moved away from the country, moved away from a state. Okay, and maybe all of y'all grew up together. She's still here. Well, her family is still here, and you are still here too. And she's somewhere else. So it's kind of like through her family, you're able to see the mind games that her ass be playing. But you're thinking about somebody else here. You know, because from her mind games, what you have realized about her is that she's very emotionally dependent, right? She may be trying to be prideful, like that's not who she is, but she is. I feel like she's having a hard time. She's going through things she's struggling with in her life too. And it's like she's trying to make it seem like it's all good. But let's say if her family is traveling to go see her, you know, somebody said something about money or something, and somebody may have said to you, you know, well, you supposed to be her man, and you supposed to do this, you supposed to do that. But it's kind of like when you talk to her, she's not giving any signs of distress. You know, you know she is, because I feel like you can feel it. You're very empathic, like I said, emotionally intelligent. So she be trying to fake the shit, but you know. But it's kind of like, well, shit, if she ain't gonna tell me and let me know, then I mean, I'm not gonna make that my problem, because I don't have time to pull information out of somebody. If you need help, then you need to be able to say that you need help. Her emotional rebellion is making it obvious of her emotional dependency. She just doesn't want to show it, but you know it. Like I said, you can see it through her family. Okay. So it's very intuitive with everybody here. It's very like watery. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is in their feelings, you know, but you got one person trying to make it seem like she's in her head. You know, she has a very ugly mind. And if she has an ugly mind, she has ugly feelings and emotions too. That's why she be trying to cover that shit up. Okay, so with the Five of Pentacles too, you may not have any funds. You are a very smart, wise person, because you already know her emotional state is why she is struggling financially. Because if she's not creating like beautiful thoughts, if she's not faithful, optimistic, you know, life be lifing, and sometimes you fall into those moments of despair. When it gets dark, you know. But I have a feeling financially, you know, you're tight. But you could have, I pick up that you may have like 5 children too. So I want to say 3 to 5. Okay. So it's kind of like if she would have told you sooner, you could have helped her or done something for her. You see, that's what, like, I can see she's a headache. This is why it's best to be with somebody who is honest, somebody who is vulnerable, somebody who is open. Because even though you may want someone who is like yourself, emotionally independent, to where they can create happiness for themselves, and they're not going to always depend on you to make them happy. So, you know, this kind of may be a long distance relationship, but you live in the same place as her family. It's crazy, because she'll call you on the phone and she got one thing to say, but then her family be confronting you about certain shit, it'd be something else. It's confusing, but at the same time, it's just like, that shit is a headache. You don't have time for that, because you can't tell what her motives are. You can't tell where she's coming from. You just can't tell. It's just like, girl, what the fuck do you want? You know? She wants you to take care of her, but she doesn't want to say it. She wants you to offer or beg her or something. She be struggling. Oh, no, I'm not struggling. You know, I know you're struggling. You know, like, let me take care of you. Oh, no, I got it. I can do this. I can do that. So, I mean, with things being financially tight for you, you're over it. You're just like, and you're sitting and you're reflecting and you're going within, to like find the wisdom, how you can deal with this situation, how you can deal with this situation in a wise manner. You know what you want, and you know that it's not her. I have a feeling you're trying to think about how you are going to break up with her if you guys are talking, or how you're going to stop talking. It's not like you could just cut her off. With y'all being at a distance from each other, if you wanted to, you could pick up and move, you know, in case she tried to get crazy and just come and hey, you know, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just really ghost her. But it's like you can't ghost her because you're around her family. I have a feeling she's a liar too. She's a real big liar. Well, when you're trying to, well, this is somebody who wants to be right at all costs. They don't care if they're wrong or if they're right. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about anything. It's all about the instant gratification with stroking their ego. Mentally, she a nasty bitch. She's not a beautiful, you know, it's not giving me like a beautiful person. You're strong enough not to deal with that. But see, with the Hermit here, you know, there's a deity. You work with the deities. Okay? So, I mean, you're protected from her abuse. But Hermit is also observation, which you observing. Six of Cups can sometimes represent recognizing spirit, somebody's soul through their pattern, being triggered by their patterns. You may have seen the same pattern in her. You see, it's like you see she's just like her family. Her family is the same, so, you know, she just be trying to hide it. You know, it's like a clown, you know, she's always performing for a circus. You know, she's always in drama or stirring up some type of drama. And it's kind of like, and it's usually very petty, you know, and she wants to sit there and pretend like, you know, she just wants to gaslight the situation, point blank period. She wants to make it seem like something in which that is not. You don't deal with her mentally. You more so deal with her emotionally. You know what I'm saying? You trust your heart more than your mind when it comes to matters of love. Right? But emotional intelligence, that is you combining your mind and your heart together, thinking with your heart. So, I mean, but, you know, you are emotionally available, and I see you thinking about somebody else too. Is it somebody else? Or you're just sitting there thinking about what it is that you want, right? You want something loving, you want something cuddling, you want something organic and natural and vulnerable, you know. You want submission. Just say that. You want somebody who's going to submit to you because you want to submit to them as well. In my card, the Nine of Cups, it's a couple. They're both naked and they're sitting there embracing each other, like holding each other. You know, they're sitting on top of this lotus flower. Okay, so you want a real bond, but you don't want to bond with somebody and they become clingy or obsessed with the bond. You want them to have some type of emotional independence about themselves. So you want them to have something going on in their life to where, you know, they have something to look forward to other than expecting for you to make them happy all the time. Okay, so we're going to end it here. Until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.